Alright folks, who is ready for another good day of Ace Attorney Inga? Bam. I do got some bad news though. I took a look at the escapades, right? Not the escapades, the special contents. To look at my accolades. The game's nice, right? Well, there are a few accolades that are just finish the case, right? You just finish the episode, you get the bonus. Some of them do require multiple stages, like looking through every debate about ladders and step ladders, and so on. Every new idea on Iris' blackboard, but it's nice enough that you can check where exactly it's supposed to be. Apparently, only 2 places to look at ladders of the whole game. Absolutely tragic. Verlockian for blackboard ideas. Only missing. Oh no, right. This is the one that I failed. Because this requires going back to episode 4. I missed it in episode 4 of the first game. After hearing the Wilson topic in episode 4. That's tricky then, because there were 2 things to do. One was to look at the violin before the Wilson topic, I think, was it? Which one was before the Wilson topic? Yeah, the violin before talking to Iris. Before the Wilson topic. And normally you think, well, if you examine every object in the room and then talk to everyone, you've done everything. But apparently that one thing changes. Violin before Wilson topic, examine everything, talk about everything, including Wilson, and then suddenly, that one blackboard thing becomes available. But I never knew. Spades, at least, is only missing this upcoming case, episode 4. But the shovel in the legal consultancy, it's like most of these are just in his office. His office, 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 and one in Madame Tuspel's. I don't know. Having multiple accolades for shovels and ladders made me think there'd be multiple locations with them. Especially since 2 games. And there were multiple ladders too. Like there's a ladder in the legal consultancy. So they could have spread it out some. Oh well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? The big takeaway is, oh no. Another accolade missed. So that's going to go onto the pile with this missing thing, this missing thing, this missing thing. To finish up on my off time. This is case 4, right? Episode 4. Talk with Gina, after regaining consciousness. At some point, I'm going to go unconscious with Toby. Alright, so, episode 4 time. Twisted Karma, his last bow. And still have this weird cut under my tongue. If this was in King of Dragon Pass terms, it'd be my scar
Pipe in hand,
or whatever.
Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said.
N+1, exactly.
Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder. An executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night.
Is it all going to come together now?
And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town.
There's only 2
There
cases.
is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant.
To this game and to this bundle.
And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow.
Urgent.
For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
This is Wilson running this, isn't it? And Wilson's POV? No, that's what Teacher Sholmes talking. Because it almost felt like it's Wilson being the dominant partner. 8 days after. So, 6 months, 8 months, 8 months, and 8 days. This feels like it's gonna go into like numerology. 8 months into Britain, plus 8 days after the trial. 8 hours into the day. Also, I have never seen a hotel this nice in Britain. But I guess that goes to show the cost window of the hotels I normally go for. Oh, naturally. Why do you think he had a manuscript for the Hound of the Baskervilles and freaked out about the collar with the big letter B on it? Identified, confirmed as a dog collar, a big dog collar. This is not a good day for tea for me. First, I pour my hot water into an empty cup with no tea in it. Now I'm spilling my precious tea all over myself. Didn't you say that Mikotoba knew about Kazuma going missing, so we did know? What do you know that? Because that's just... Well, I guess they do have telegrams. I was gonna say, that's just last week. So, that'd be incredible. If news got across the ocean that quickly, but yeah, telegrams do exist. Maybe there is nothing sinister in the Chief Justice assigning the amnesiac Kazuma to Banziks. Because everybody knows everybody, even if the Chief Justice himself is a very sinister man. I bet you anything that he is close personal friends with Susato's dad and the judge and everybody else. And so that's just friends watching out for friends. Dang, they don't recognize him! The dad, I can see, that's just a change of clothes, but the judge, oh my goodness. Keeping the beard and the hair, but in this big suit. I mean, I guess it's easier for the dad since his style's a bit more conservative. He's even getting the question marks, not even Naruhodo recognizes him. Sir, who are you? Who is this man? Oh my goodness. You don't recognize a beard. Those imposing soft eyes. You can't quite... Well, he's already been in court once. So, I guess it's easier for Naruhodo to forget. Smash him. Ash went out, she stood up hair. Yeah, see? You keep the beard, you keep the face, remove the hat, add a suit. It's totally different almost. I hadn't noticed before, but while the hairstyle itself is different, the jagged hairline is pretty similar to Phoenix Wright's. Do you think perhaps there is a genetic mixing at some point in 100 years between the judge's line and Naruto's line? I mean, look at that, look at that. If you cover right, if you cover from the nose down and the top of his head, just his eyes, the bridge of his nose, and his hairline, it's almost Phoenix Wright. That's eerie. That's like looking at an older Phoenix Wright. If you cover everything except for his eyes and hairline. Maybe there is something to that, in like deliberate design choice. Because most of the judges in Ace Attorney have been bald. This is one of the few be-haired judges. So it's kind of like if you strip the beard away, you'd have an older Phoenix Wright in the judge and a younger Phoenix Wright in Naruto. And that's pretty cool. I still love that his name is actually G Goku. Really leaning into that Kingdom influence. Wait, I forgot. I mentioned something about a missing Shin person. But that was Brett, wasn't it? Brett's identity being fake. Just a tangent. Little tangential aside. Your personal insistence. Pretty cool. Was that about Kazuma's return to life? Or things coming to light? Ah, the Kazuma's a nice bonus, but they must be talking about their friend, Kazuma's dad. And I looked around, there are things to look at. Crystal Tower. Without the disintegration ray in the foreground. 300 meters, that's impossible. Yes, Nanakudo, that's exactly what they did. He's so quaint. That poor porter, in the green, struggling with 2 suitcases as it is. Oh, this porter. I recognize him. Isn't he the guildmaster for the carriage drivers? Jet black clothes. You know what? Everybody's been talking about his jet black clothes. I do enjoy the mouse on his shoulder. The little mouse of himself. But we've seen it. We've seen everybody's clothes. Maybe I'll turn them back? I've kind of gotten accustomed to this Iris homemade suit. What do we think? Is she still dressed in her traditional ways, or is she trying out some of London's fashions? Bro, it's got a mouse on his shoulder. Ton? There's no armband, and everybody comments on the black outfit when he's not dressed in black. Just back to the defaults then. But the mouse! But the adorable mouse! I really am torn. Armband or mouse? Armband or mouse? That's what it comes down to, really. Alright. We'll just pretend his blue jacket is meant to simulate a type of black. Like how in anime girls it's always green hair or blue hair or purple hair to represent some shade of black. Why black on screens is often more like a darkish light gray thing. Because if it was black, it wouldn't look right. Present my armband. Because he wants to prove that he's a lawyer to you. Exactly, student showing his armband to the professor. Alright, let's just converse. But first, how was your trip? Did somebody have to hide in the wardrobe then too? the symposium that I've straight up botched by implicating the forensics investigation team in a whole lot of corruption. Ingratiate himself, the Attorney General. That wouldn't have been the Chief Justice, because the Chief Justice now wants to be the Attorney General. Dr. Wilson, huh? He must mean Dr. Wilson. It doesn't bring him back. No, they're talking about friends with a professor of forensic science at a major hospital. But I guess it would still have associations with the events of 10 years ago. Let's dredge it up. Genshin Asogi. The impact of that crime. Police detective. You see, you can't trust the cops. So hold on. Genshin here would be the connection then to the Chief Justice, wouldn't he? Okay, so now I'm reading very, very heavily in Kazuma's dad actually being innocent. The true professor was killing off aristocrats and nobles and royalty, being the Chief Justice, the current Chief Justice. He was getting his hands dirty for the first time, maybe. And he knew about Genshin because they're in the same field. And Genshin became the patsy. What did he say? What did he say? I suppose putting him in the prosecutor's office would put him in a good position to investigate. Aww. Mikotoba, you did not know? Jigoku, you did not know? They did not know. They aren't involved in the conspiracy. And they go back to just calm faces. He's alive! That's news! Okay. my tongue is so annoying. Anytime it bumps a tooth or something, just shoots straight down my entire facial neckish apparatus. So it's probably not because Lord Strongheart was simply showing gratitude to old friends from 10 years since. Wrong to visit him. You guys are old friends, of course not. You just arrived, but how you find the country? I guess you could almost say that their journey and Naruto's are continuations of the only story worth telling, the monomyth, The Journey to the West. Naruto, of course, is a monkey. Between the prison and the burial ground. So pretty close to then, where the professor, where Genshin came back to life. With that dreadful case. See, I have doubts that Genshin really was involved. He was working with the police, or studying with. He doesn't believe it, Mikotoba doesn't believe it. It does seem like his friends who knew him best, they didn't believe it. They had doubts. They tried to defend him. I think that Genshin was the patsy. He's foreign. He's studying in Britain, but he's a part of his own community of friends. Mikotoba, is that your way of saying you give us your blessing and you want us to call you father? If so, alright, Dad. After all, son, she's already taken your last name in court. Aww, Mikotoba. He's sweet. happened at home and then you moved. Here I thought the timing was just bad, but his opportunity came up, coinciding with the birth of his daughter. Oh no. Oh no, what happened? Did her mother die in childbirth or something? And Nikotoba was distraught with grief? Has she mentioned having a mother? He is a sweetheart, so he probably hasn't remarried if that's the case. And there haven't been any hints to brothers or sisters. The guy has a camera on his design. That camera is going to become abuse. Aww. Love how stiff and proper Naruhodo is. Also, the judge really is an imposing giant of a man. Everything here then, right? Is everything here? New location? I don't see any location. Less... anxious about Kazuma. Meet Lord Strongheart to ask after him. Let's go right now. Don't believe he visited for some time, Suzuki says. It's only been a week. A week and 1 day. Literally? Literally looking down on us. Mr. Strongheart. Just ask. Jump into the deep end. Where is Kazuma? Can we see him? Why did you keep him hidden from us? What is your scheme? Did you intend to groom him into another Reaper of the courtroom? My International Forensic Science Symposium. You must love us for tearing your FIT apart. Don't be sorry, man. She's a murderer. She's covered up crime scenes. See, there you go. See, he's tossing her to the buff, just like I said. Apprentice missing since yesterday, since 1 week exactly. You've taken him someplace else, haven't you? Call him Kazuma, we know who he is now. A surprise. You liar! 3 months ago? So maybe what happened then is Kazuma wakes up, partial amnesia, but he still has an inkling of an idea that he's supposed to be going to Britain, so smuggles his way over across the world. London. Maybe performing investigations of his own. Now that he has his memory back, his identity back, his purpose. I think this bit is a lie. I think that this Chief Justice is the one who was more involved. Either Chief Justice Strongheart was the killer himself, or Genshin's execution and trial is step 1, or evidence 1 in, sir, maybe killing off people who get non-guilty verdicts. Is it justice? Maybe that means you are killing off innocent people who just got non-guilty verdicts. Orders of his cause, well yeah. He was only going after aristocrats and royalty. A blight on the aristocracy. See, it's all coming to light. That's why I've suspected that this man is it. A killer that's only gone after people who are themselves criminals to get away. He was too bold. People were gonna catch on to him. So he tosses his foreign student that nobody knows or cares about under the bus. Then, huzzah, hooray, the professor is dead. And as he said himself, that day the Reaper was born. $30 million, dang. 5 times the total population of London. "15 times the capital of Tokyo, or the population of Tokyo." Is that what he wants for his reach to be global? Cooperation across the globe, more like the globe cooperate with Britain. You're still going on with the forensic investigation team after last week? Can he? He still can. Can you not do that? Obviously. Okay, so he can't anymore. I've killed his ambitions. You're welcome. Now Courtney's under the bus, and if he wants to get more co-conspirators, you gotta make sure that he vets them and make sure they know some subtlety, some intrigue. Okay, we got nothing else here. Let's go. Kazuma, hiding inside the rightmost suit of armor, watching the true professor. We have all of the Iris Note things but one for the previous game. Shovel that? What do? What do? As if we're actually in the investigation yet. Ryanosuke. Achievement, the Ace of Spades. Hooray, accolade get. How would you go about pronouncing that? Is this supposed to be like a trumpet or something? Is that Ue? E with accent. Which E is this? Not that E, the other E. There you go.
Yui.
Yui.
Yui. Yui.
Thank you. Thank you, Google. Is that screaming? Oh, who's this? New character? Or wait, is this Sholmes and Iris incognito? First guy's got kind of Sholmes' build. Maybe a wig. No? These new characters? To the clink? Gina, what's going on? She don't like it. Our next daring iced. Well, that's one case solved. Goodbye. Have fun. Alright, so it's not them incognito, and that's just two irises. There's a mask at the table. Has Kazuma been around here? Is he working with Sholmes for now? And we're still not giving her the truth about her own. Iris, both Naruhodo and Susato know about what happened to him, and they still refuse to tell him. So that'll just tell her. Is it Kazuma? His mask is on the box. That's the same as last time. So all these different times you get to examine the blackboard. But the one time they want is after talking about Wilson. Casper mask? What about the mask on top of it? Just the same story about Sholmes? There you go. That was like a pixel too low. That looks like it's targeting the mask, but no. So he's not here? And then he'll do just that. Fireplace, no. Trying to fit the newspaper. Is it the missing cat? No, it's not the missing cat. Yes. Yes, it is. Advertisement from the newspaper that's entitled to the Red-Headed League. Seems somewhat suspicious in nature. And it's mine now. My newspaper. the Red-Headed League on account of the bequest of the late Ezekiah Hopkins of Lebanon, PA, USA. There is now another vacancy open which entitles a member of the League to a salary of £4 a week for purely nominal services. All red-headed men who are sound in body and mind, at above the age of 21 years, are eligible. Apply in person on the morning of the 31st at the large park on Lime Street. Get £4 per week if you're a redhead. A most fantastic money-making opportunity. St. Bart's to Lynn, Public Health. But if this is November 1st is too late. It's too late to be a redhead. First off, Kazuma. Are we really going to expect to get an honest answer out of what did you lie about? Also, how's it been an hour already almost? Unconscious for a very long time. Well, officially, if they thought of that might have been Query, he would have been dead. Going by the investigators that Japan sent out. In due course. It's due course right now. Maybe he was kidnapped by people smuggling him to the Chief Justice. Maybe he did know the Chief Justice, who Kazuma was. Nothing of significance until they come back. Could it be their crime is redhead fraud, much like Sholmes here, faking having red hair, to defraud the organization of the £4 a week? How to make money easily? How to get your own weekly stipend? Co-author. And what exactly is the greatest problem known to man? Is he just being dramatic here? The problem of rent. So yes. It does come back to dyeing his hair for £4 a week. Blue before our very eyes. Alright, we show him the newspaper. We'll never figure out what that one thing that changed Autumn will be. It is impossible to know. What if I just read it presented the newspaper first thing? Would that skip the whole greatest mystery known to man discussion? Apply his methods of just the most basic observations of the world. Alright, if you gotta. If this gets us one step closer to the actual mystery of the day. Because don't tell me that the Red-Headed League is actually going to come back in as important to this plot. The Twisted Karma and his last bow. Ow. What about, well, I guess Iris can't because she's not a man over 21. She might be a published author and doctor by the age of 10, but there are still two very obvious disqualifiers. Iris, you are not a 21-year-old male that the advertisement specifically asked for. You failed to get accepted? Was it too, Red? Are you yourself Sholmes, a bungler? Neither dyed nor a hairpiece. That's not his natural hair, though. The wonders of chemistry. Son, that's called dyeing it. Every hair in his body, even though it's all across his arms, his stomach, his butt. Can he? But of course, it's completely unsafe. He's just unhampered by that fear. You're too famous, man. They don't believe that you're redheaded. Should have said, nah, you just let your natural hair color come out. You fool. Wait, what? You were irritated, so just turned them to the police? For what? So you just pegged them randomly for being irritated? With money. Who could he be? It can't be Kazma then. Unless being the chief prosecutor's apprentice for all of a week comes with an incredible paycheck. Ugh. I'm trying to make sense of her hair. It's like a braided ponytail, isn't it? But coming up from the front. Really? Seen her before recently, and Naruto recognizes her too? Evie? Evie Vigil? Ever Vigil? I don't think I recognize her. Dainty, long neck. Little mole under her eye. Was she a juror? Is that it? Oh, that's a feather, not her hair. It's the same color as her hair, though. I was wondering why her hair was coming out of her hat, but I guess the feather makes a lot more sense. I do like how even though this is no longer on the GBA or the DS and basic palettes, or simpler palettes, they still keep to simple palette varieties for their characters. Hence the gloves, hair, frills, and feathers all being the same color, the hat and the dress. Fluff on the hat, outlines of the gems in her eyes. It does kind of make some characters stand out though, like Van Zeek's being his own dark color palette. Definitely stands out against everybody else. Nah, we gotta be confident. We gotta show her our credentials for her confidence. Mrs. Vigil, Mr. Vigil, husband's disappearance. We'll go to order from the top. lawyer, she attended a trial last week, so I guess she was a juror. And I've simply forgotten about her in one day. There you go. About your husband, tell us about him. Cute. Unremarkable, what do you mean? Those soft eyes. That gentle tilt of his cheeks. Hat, regularly groomed. Roiled, maybe kidnapped. A warder at the prison. Was that chief warder? Was that chief or chef? I clicked through too quickly. Chief warder. In the dormitory. Barclay Prison. There's no coincidences. No. One of the major cemeteries of the city? Impossible. Okay, so, establish the facts of his disappearance. And let me see, we don't have the photograph. Do we have his profile? We do not. We do! Daily Vigil, 40. A man who's disappeared without a word to his family. Former Chief Ward, Barclay Prison. EV, 36. Client who has engaged the services of Mr. Sholmes. She has asked the great detective to help track down her missing husband. Then everybody else, we already know. Shishiro Jigoku, Minister of World Affairs and a judge of the Supreme Court of Judicature in Japan. The man who acquitted me when I was once accused of murder. Yujin Mikotoba, 43. Medical school professor at the Imperial Yuma University. He's an authority in forensic medicine, and Miss Susano's father. November, and still nobody else is aged up. No one except for Gina. Which means they must all be December babies. Everybody else had their birthday just before the game started. Don't tell me they're going with the fake, oh, he has to be missing for over 24 hours first, sort of thing. Truly? But if he's missing, then the longer you wait, the less likely you're getting him back. A sweet smile, plus she looks like somebody who could afford the meals. Added to evidence finally, photographic print received from Mrs. Vigil in order to aid with locating her missing husband. Appears to have no distinctive facial features. I don't know about that. Soft eyes, soft eyebrows with little nips at the end. Is there anything else important in this photograph? This is a very posh place, even for a prison warden. Especially for. How old is this picture? He's supposed to be 40. End of the day tomorrow. I mean, maybe you could put out a payment plan, an ongoing payment plan. Mm-hmm. Genshin Asogi. Mr. Sholmes, if you're putting us on the case, that means you gotta pay us. Are you sure you want to spend your rent money subcontracting to us already? And he got mocked for it. They thought he was incognito. He's felt shame for the first time in his life. Mission governor's office. Why am I yawning so much today? Is it because I actually got to sleep at a decent hour last night? Actually got to sleep at a decent hour, which means more sleep. Am I too relaxed? Is that it? Got plenty of sleep in. It's a nice gray morning, nice and overcast. Maybe my body does just want to relax all today. No murders, no court cases, just lean on back, recline for a bit. Spend all day on Dragon Pass. That is a guillotine in their clock. Guillotine, manacles, an axe, a hunting rifle. A cage that is far too small for that poor bird. He can remember. Could it be the Scottish warden or whoever that Jigoku and Mikotobu were talking about? Everybody's old friends that everyone's connected to. Caden. There's no coincidences. What's he sweating for? Because we're Eastern. Does he see his old friend in us? Has he become prejudiced since the professor was also Japanese? Suspicious looking Easterners. You see those small brain people who subsequently got banned on the Steam discussion forums was like, it's the 19th century. You need slurs. You need slurs to be realistic to racism. Not really. The game's an absence of slurs for the most part. And people have been very open and game about their racisms, their prejudice, their discriminations. No, he simply had some bad yakisoba. Agents. If you want the Professor's Great Web, look no further than the court system itself. Trust me. Nothing suspicious about us. It's finally going to work. We're going to show him our armband that shows we're lawyers, that if we're lawyers, we can be trusted. Yeah, their father. Present him the proof that we are good, safe lawyers. Well, that means he trusts you. If he's showing you his back, then that means he is giving you his exposures, his vulnerabilities. You could stab him in the back and he's saying, you are a person I can give my back to without being stabbed. See, he really, really trusts us. Twice in one conversation? 51 years of age, Governor Barclay Prison. Seems he was good friends with Professor Mikitoba through the Japanese man's time in Britain as a visiting student. We'll look around. No. Doesn't even let us get the cursor up. Alright, back to Waterloo then. Where's Jigoku? I see, Dad. Is he up in the room then? Not the relaxing sort. Well, Dad, it's time for you to see some bigwigs too. Very busy, sitting down, reading the newspaper. Smiling, guilty as charged. A letter of introduction, hastily written onto what? A torn business card, the back of an envelope? Note of introduction on our behalf of Professor Mikitoba to Governor Caden. Hopefully now he'll be willing to talk to us. Blackbird Line. I'll take your word for it. The Groose. First class, you got to travel first class, dang. Written at the back of a ticket for a passage on a steamship. Alright, back we go. After that roundabout. Sir, your ticket. What? That was a joke? Well, it's Ace Attorney, you see. We had to take turns with the brain cell, and we left it with Dad, so we had to get it back. Handcuff biscuits. Do they have the lemon cream in the middle? to reserve Susato. Heard nothing of the sort. Well, it's been a day only. Maybe it's his day off, and so it's not unusual for him to be missing. It turns out, Vigil's been dead for 10 years. Was. When? Was that yesterday? He just quit? Didn't tell his wife and then vanished off someplace? "10 years ago now." About the time that everyone's dad was here in Britain and the professor case was going on. Oh, Miss Vigil. Didn't I say? The house, the yard in that photograph was way too posh for a warden's salary. Years when Mikitova was here too. No choice in the matter. Does this relate to the present case? A particular walk. He walked outside, into the graveyard, shot a zombie when came back to life, and because of that, killed a man who was supposed to go free, because equivalent of a foreign diplomat. A walk to the gallows. A faked execution. If it is about the professor, then it has to be that he faked the execution, and because of Drebber and Asmund, information came out suggesting that the execution was false, the professor was alive. A scary ghost story for most Londoners, but for those in the know, a very rare occurrence 10 years ago. Now, a complete coincidence? It was, in fact, the execution the day before. Common mistake. Well, with that all taken care of, how's Dad? Tell us about Dad, your days with Dad. Basement of Saint Sinners. So Saint Sinners is attached to this whole complex then? The prison, the dead house, the graveyard, and Saint Sinners just in the side? That's where Sholmes was shot, or where Sholmes was recovered, wasn't it? At Saint Sinners? Where does he even get those? Does he buy them? Does he make them? And the tea goes right back into his pocket. What? You mean the language? You never understood the language? Is that it? But they speak English. A book. Dad's first steamboat ticket. City of London Police. What is this? Death certificate? Dismissal notice. Evidence. And he still kept it 10 years in. That's fantastic record keeping. And he found it right away too. The harsh reprimand incurred by Mr. Vigil 10 years ago that resulted in him losing his job as chief warder of Barclay Prison. Notice of dismissal, 25th of June. Chief Warder Daily Vigil is relieved of his post with immediate effect for having violated Clause 132 of Her Majesty's Code of Conduct for Prisons. All right to redundancy pay and other financial benefits are fully revoked. Reason for dismissal: aiding and abetting the escape from this prison of convict blank just prior to his execution. So yep. Details of this escape are still being investigated. Full cooperation with inquiries will be expected. Prison Governor Barry Caden. Wait, there's a page 3. Additional notes. Indications are that the jailbreak plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. It's believed that the convict engaged in some sort of negotiation with prison staff in order to secure assistance. Full disclosure of information regarding these negotiations will be demanded. See, amateurs, they've gone ahead. They've censored the convict's name, but not the exact clause of Her Majesty's Code of Conduct, so we could just refer to Clause 132 and find out exactly what he did. Unless it's one of those laws, or rules, that are so broadly and vaguely written that they could apply to almost anything. You know, the worst part about this cut of my tongue isn't just that if I bash it anywhere, I feel it all throughout my face and neck, but it's in such a position that in the average, regular movements your tongue makes to shape the sounds coming out of your mouth, it's in the perfect spot that gets used every single time. Every single mouth shape I make uses that specific corner of the tongue being moved around. I really should just say time off and say nothing, become a monk for a whole day, just to give the tongue total rest. It's been what, 3 days now, I think? 3 or 4 days? Like, even just licking my lips when it gets a bit dry. Scrapes that little spot over the teeth, and everything feels dry because every time there's some sore in the mouth or a cut of the tongue, your mouth is incredibly dry. Can't be kinky, can't do the medicals. Can't examine anything. Oh. Not even the bird. It's gotta be a taxidermied bird. If this bird isn't taxidermy, that'd be so sad. So back to Sholmes then? Back to Sholmes and giving the news that her husband isn't associated with the prison any longer, and hasn't for a decade. Okay, this is an upgrade, I'll give him that. You know what, I have to wonder. Does the bonus outfit only apply to his regular coated suit, or is it for any Sholmes outfit? Because see, that's the overcoat and everything. The jacket, the coat, the hat. All Sholmes appearance then. Okay, every single Sholmes appearance, regardless of the specifics of what he's wearing, becomes this. Now I know. Which means you don't get the variety? The look of awe. She loved it. She's getting ideas for her own hair. Call forwards to Franziska von Karma. I'll admit, younger me had a little bit of crush on Franziska von Karma. Made a rock band character, an emulation of her. Only with some pink fringe in the front of her hair. Sholmes, those two are innocent. You lost Toby. You can't Adam and Eve it. Don't tell me it is about Toby. Don't say grave matter if it is about Toby. Don't tell me Gregson has actually fallen afoul of the Reaper. His name was on the list, with Wilson, Kazuma, Shin, Guregu-san. Don't say dead. He's dead? Nuh-uh. He's unconscious for a prolonged period of time, and he's going to wake up with a coma and hitchhike his way to Japan. Just found his body. Shot with a pistol. Well, who's gonna be the investigator then? Who's gonna be the detective? This is a twist I truly have not anticipated. To make you feel better, here's my armband. But it's comforting to you. Would this bring you comfort, you said? Weighs heavily. Oh. So it's not as much a comfort now. Easy mistake to make. Inspector's death. What exactly happened? Are you sure? Maybe he's been shot and felt unconscious, and he's in a bad state, and they're rushing him to the hospital, but he'll be alright? After hours of surgery? Does this tie back into the missing husband? Husband goes missing, having shot a cop for some job. Daily vigil. Is it daily vigil? Be Dad. It's probably not Jigoku or Dad. Kazuma. The Reaper. Like Van Zeeks, who's properly believed to be the Reaper? Really? No, no. That can't be right. So we gotta defend Van Zeeks. And somebody else is gonna be the prosecutor for this case, right? Is it gonna be Avon Pharma? That's it, that's such flimsy evidence. It's always the flimsiest of evidence that gets people arrested, and then immediately tried as guilty. So he was there, in the room, he probably came with Gregson, they both work under each other. An hour and 40-some minutes into the stream, and we finally got to the case. It's empathy, Gina. Just accept it. Naturally, this is a chief prosecutor we're talking about here. That means he's got fat cash. and we could squeeze him for all he's worth for this representation. Sholmes, you're sweet. Your rent is your rent is good for at least the rest of the year. Oh, that's right. And if Zeke's is going to be the defendant, then he can't exactly scream out from the box, "No, wait, that's not proper. You can't have Sholmes as evidence. It's not science. It doesn't count." You know what it is? In the previous case, Iris mentioned that she was going to present Gregson less favorably in her story, and because of that, she wrote him to be more of a bumming detective, a bumming inspector, and so some disenfranchised fan just straight up shot him. Also, please tell me Sholmes keeps his hair for the rest of the game. The blue is a great look for him. Your location, prison, Fresno Street room, prison first. Calm, collected, reading. A perfect Edgeworth. Don't be so tsundere. You want us to defend you. You trusted us, and nobody else, with defending your only friend in the world. But you should agree, because it's our friend behind bars now. And dead. It's two of our friends involved. That makes us involved. Oh, you know what it is. Gregson is high up the chain for Scotland Yard. I bet this is where we start implicating the Chief Justice. This was a political hit to weaken the reach of Scotland Yard and further the reach of the forensics investigation team. Because it was Gregson's meddling in the previous case, ahead of the FIT, that got us the evidence we needed, not just to implicate Mr. Drebeler, but also to blow the lid on the forensic investigation team's leader, Coombe Coroner. An old acquaintance. Herr Gray? Is he doing okay back in Deutschland? Well, that's because the Great Hound is caged. Of course, as Bart loses bite. First, don't worry, we're a defense attorney. Initially. See? He trusts us. He believes in us. Okay, what happened? We can talk about the letter afterwards. So little. Fresno Street, Gregson shot, people heard, you were witnessed in the room. You would think, though, that Van Zeeks would have some privilege, being the most respected prosecutor in Britain. So this has got to be a political hit from the FIT or the Chief Justice. If they're not going to give him the benefit of this is the most gentlemanly gentleman in all of Britain, the top crime fighter, a low-level commo officer got so much leeway just because he dresses as a gentleman, and this is the biggest fish in the city. Did you come in afterwards? You heard the gunshot, then he came in, saw the body, but nothing else? Heard the noise. See, he wasn't there. Yeah, we are. You're a prosecutor, not a defense attorney. First, well, no, never mind. Anyone other than you? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. You don't gotta play so tough, man. And all 19. And 16 have gone free. 16. Of course not. It means his head, lolling to the side on the gallows. And yeah, he did, hence the letter. The safe arrival. Sea, rail, and snail. So if the Reaper doesn't extend beyond British soil, then what was the business with Brett, nay Shin, attacking and killing Dr. Wilson? What is that about? Yeah, like, I trusted this guy from the start. Ever since the McGildy case, when he was so thorough about documenting evidence properly. He's legit. Not you. Oh, now the racism comes out. But you can trust you Nipponese. With your friend's life but not your own? That was a pretty tricky case. That was twisty and turvy. So we have to investigate, prove we know our stuff. He's making a Sonic a breakup. Find it about Van Zeeks. I don't know about finding out about Van Zeeks, but the second bit is definitely investigation. Bob. The portrait in green. Is that not? Is that not her? I bet it is. I bet you it is. And this is where her husband's been hiding. Husband's been gone for 10 years. Maybe her husband's the Reaper. Uttered the employee the Chief Justice. Considering the big old board with photos all over the wall. All over it, I mean. Was Gregson also going undercover with the redheads? There is a wig. Documentation, Gina. Gotta document as we go along. You can't just rip things out. She's really taken on the leadership role. Good on you. Gina is our friend. Nepotism. Conflict of interest. You're going to let us investigate? Sholmes left. Yes, do let us. We're friends. You've been with us for 2 whole games, ever since the first case in Britain. Yeah, of course we are. Hey! No tricks or anything. And no forensic investigation team here either. Maybe this was more a revenge hit than anything. Okay, first, the obvious thing is that the wife is that Mrs. Vigil. Quickly before it goes away. The mole. That is her. Evie Vigil. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in a room being rented out at the edge of town by a man who's been missing and has mysterious movements for 10 years? We'll never know. Because this is Mr. Vigil's room. This is where he disappears to. Photograph or print of a smiling Mrs. Vigil in her younger years, found on a desk at the scene of the crime. I thought I saw something pop up on the screen, but there's nothing. Police report, case notes, prison inmate details. Either Mr. Vigil was being used as a Reaper by the Chief Justice, or he's his own Batman. He's doing some other side investigation stuff. Maybe he's good. Maybe Mr. Vigil was doing detective stuff. Maybe he was investigating Reaper business on the side with Gregson, collaborating. Scotland Yard, wanting to know what's going on with the Reaper, investigating these mysterious deaths. And maybe that's why he was killed. He was getting too close to the Chief Justice. To pay his rent. To pay a rent for this flat, hence the wig. Inspector Gregson wore wigs. Clearly the logical conclusion to come with. A flame red wig found at the scene of the crime on Fresno Street. Presumably belonged to Inspector Gregson. No, it doesn't. Is that a come on, Suzato? Must be the murder weapon. Is it real? No, he was shot by a toy gun. Susanoo, this is evidence. You're not going to ruin the evidence. Although, if we do, that would give us a clue in the shape of the markings on the bullet. That gives us one piece of evidence, comparative evidence, if we have other bullets to compare with. Murder weapon found at the scene of the crime on Fresno Street. Probably best to avoid handling it. Someone more familiar with firearms. Who do we know? Would Schultz count? It's a little dolly. A model policeman. Why are they all associating everything in this room with Gregson? Gregson was shot here. But that doesn't mean that this is Gregson's room. We've already established this is the opposite end of town from where Gregson lives. He doesn't live anywhere near here. A small and rather endearing model of a British policeman found at the scene of the crime on Fresno Street. Okay, so maybe it was Van Zeek's toy. Hello, what is this? A collapsible baton? Or a key? Giving it a twist causes a key-shaped shaft, key-like shaft, to pop out from the base. There's where the body was. No, you see what happened was Gregson transformed into his true state. With his physical mortal body shot and wounded, he once again reverted to turtle. The windows are cracked. I don't see any glass on the inside, so maybe it wasn't a bullet that was shot in from above. Maybe the roof across the street or a taller building. Yeah, see, there's nothing. Candle. Do you reveal the secret hidden room? Maybe? There's no blood on the wall though. If the exit wound was close enough. Candelabrum from the wall of the room on Fresno Street where the inspector was found dead. The top of one of the candles appears to have been blown off. Examine more. There's a chimney. Maybe he escaped with the chimney? Is somehow such a great contortionist that he squeezed through the chimney pots? Can't open the drawers. And what does key go to if nothing in this room? Maybe it does belong to Van Zeeks and it's something at his office. Oh, too many tears! Everybody loved Gregson. Alright, nothing else to do. Gina, do you know anything? A legend at the yard. Hence everybody being so morose about this. It's a bit dodgy. Respect for the Reaper? Nah. Surely he knows that Van Zeeks is not the Reaper. To that fella. Does that mean then that Gregson did know the true identity of the Reaper? No, could it be? Because he was worried for Gina too. He was worried for Gina, which is why he wanted to take her out to France in the first place. To flee the country so she doesn't get hurt. That doesn't track then, him respecting the Reaper, and saying the Reaper only goes after bad folk. Hugh Boone. Is this a joke name? Huge bone like humongous? What about the landlord? We get the landlord. Tell us about the person who was renting out this room. No, not Gregson. Cesaro, catch up. The photo on the table there. It is clearly Daily Vigil's room. This is where he's been for the past 10 years. Maybe investigating in collaboration with Gregson? Maybe an agent of the Reaper who Gregson finally tracked down? It definitely is somebody's secret office, but not Gregson's. Yeah, the board full of information. The photo, the framed photo of somebody's beloved Wyatt. Unless they want to suggest that Gregson and Mrs. Vigil were having a salacious affair for the past 10 years. No denying it. If it was Van Zeek's, where's the vampire motif? Where's the bat in the trigger guard? The big lawman. Do we know any other bigwig lawmen? Only other lawman we know in Britain is the prosecutor Van Zeeks himself, Gregson, but he's dead. Maybe as witnesses in court. Makes out nothing. Is she really questioning in the portrait of Mr. Vigil's wife as evidence? Because yes, it is. Gun knows nothing about. Key? Maybe she knows nothing. She knows something about the key if it does belong to Gregson. No, nothing. What if we go back to Shomzen? If Shomzen's done here, then maybe we could talk to him back at his office and exchange notes. No, nothing's new. Nothing is new. Bigwig. Bigwig law person. Chief Justice himself. Kazuma? It is Kazuma, so Kazuma has been made to work under the Chief Justice. Conspiring with, in fact. Maybe that is... Maybe that is hinting that the reason the Chief Justice himself put this man under the prosecutor is either to train him to be his own assassin, his new arm of the Reaper business, or to keep an eye on Van Zeeks, and maybe plunge that sword into his back when needed. And he is using two swords. He totally is going Lloyd. He doesn't seem to be too torn up about it. Maybe he's got some sins of the father belief going on. And if he's killed Van Zeek's older brother, then just that familial association would implicate Van Zeeks himself. Only believe in the facts you said, and yet you've already believed that Van Zeeks is guilty merely for being found at the scene investigating it. All those other bobbies at the scene too, are they guilty? Don't tell me that the trial itself is the forensic symposium. Is this part of his plan? Did this guy plan out months in advance to murder Gregson? Specifically, so they could have an incredible case about the legendary Reaper himself on trial in the murder of one of Scotland Yard's most decorated investigators. And the magic of forensic science will prove the guilt. Kazuma, why are you acting cold? Are you trying to play nice with the Chief Justice? There's something going on with them, definitely. Kazuma is still our friend. 8 days ago proved it. I think that he's playing triple agent. The prosecution, really? Maybe it's as simple as that. That is why he had him apprenticing under the Chief Justice. Not the Chief Justice, the Chief Prosecutor. Because he already planned to throw Van Zeeks under the bus, and so needs a replacement. Kazuma, hi! It has? Then great. Then he's on our side. He'll still He'll still do his job as a prosecutor the best he can, because that is the role of the prosecutor. And we'll do ours. The voice. Oh, don't tell us it's our friendship. Oh, that's it? That's fine. We could be friends with the prosecutor. We just have different roles to perform. But performing our different roles is what makes the court system just. It's perfectly fine. He's changed career paths in the past 3 months. Now, see, when he was alive and a defender, I did comment that Kazuma kind of looked like a younger, more jovial, friendly, outgoing Edgeworth. But, well, one, Van Zieks is clearly the Edgeworth analog. But as a prosecutor, he definitely has those eyes. That stern expression, that nose, those tight lips. And the cravat. Well, I guess it's more of an ascot in this case, isn't it? Is that ascot or cravat? I'm feeling cravat. Maybe they're both Edgeworth. You have Van Zieks Edgeworth for the Western Japanifornia Edgeworth. You got Kazuma Edgeworth for the Japan Edgeworth. And yet strong heart, and yet this is going to be yet another one of your ambitions that we're going to tear apart, embarrass you personally and the entire British court system in front of the global stage. He's not being hostile. You guys are still friends, Naruto. Don't take it so personally. Everyone all over the Empire will be watching your embarrassing defeat, Chief Justice. And don't forget, Mr. Strongheart here himself also said that Van Zieks is not the Reaper. the lead detective is an 18-year-old who just got onto the job like a few months back, at most. Includes prosecutors. To the victim, to the prosecutor, to anybody else in the force. Lost it. Oh my goodness. That is extremely sloppy work. A missing gun should mean the entirety of London is shutting down until it turns up. That means you're done, right? We've seen the crime scene. We haven't spoken to Sholmes yet.
Hold it!
That's almost get a nice strong hold it. Before you go, we trade phone numbers. Trade phone numbers, trade discords. See? Still friend. There's a hint of a smile behind those eyes right there. He's admiring us, admiring this dedication, carrying out his legacy. Your pops, right? All about your pops. The favor! Again, Kazuma, be careful. The last time you almost asked us for a favor, you died. Yeah, we're going to be, because we're going to be the defender. That's not hostility. That is friendship. Yeah, Naruto, did you forget that his only friend in the world, he wouldn't trust with anyone but you? Okay, who we got here? The two Van Zeke brothers and Gregson. Old photographic print displayed rather prominently in Inspector Gregson's office, as if it was a treasured memory. I mean, it's even the same symbol on their necks. Looks just like him. Pino the Third. Visiting hour is almost over. That means the investigation must almost be done too. Back to prison. Show Van Zeeks a photograph. Get his commission as his defense attorneys. And then to be continued. Well, see, Naruto, that's because the letter is in German. And German has some really long words. And often, they put, like, verbs way at the very tail end of the sentence. And they don't believe run-off sentences are bad. I don't either. Just be clean about it. So he's got to read the letter like 3 times over to interpret massive compound nouns in massive sentences, and then it gets to the end, sees the verb, and has to reread to see what meaning the verb gives everything else. I like German. I took German in college, and I was apprehensive about languages, but I had to take one, and they were offering German. And it was very much like English without the French. It really was, like a more primitive English. Just with a couple of more extra rules. Maybe a few different sounds. The case notes. Give us the case notes. Come on, we need that evidence. Oh, you see, this time around. Gregson got shot. Sweet Detective Gregson, with all the fish and chips, got shot. And Van Zieks here heard the gunshot and went into the room to investigate. And naturally that makes him the prime suspect. I think it's a cover-up. Not just a cover-up. I think this is a conspiracy. The trial tomorrow is going to be an exhibition of the Chief Justice's new forensic ideas. I think this is a scheme that has been months in planning. And that Van Zieks here is being thrown under the bus, just like Courtney was in the second case, in yesterday's case. Which means this has to be either when we finally get to implicate the Chief Justice, or when we get a really big overt clue. Hey Nev! Still no spoilers on this screen, I'm sorry. Enjoy your spoiler-free experience. Spoiler reversal. He's on the outside, we're the ones who's the defense. He's protecting us now. No. Oh yes, that's the Chief Justice, the douche with the timepiece who lives in a clock. Keeps doing this whole thing with the pigeons behind him. The guy who's straight up designed as an anime villain. The accused was Asogi. I don't think that Kazuma's dad was actually the mass murderer now. All his friends who knew him from ages back were completely surprised, tried to defend him. See, I was thinking, at the most surface level, that maybe the reason why Kazuma was picked up to be his apprentice is because a board decided that Van Zieks is going to take the fall as a Reaper, and it was going to be proved in public to the world in a very publicized trial to prove the forensic techniques. But maybe the Chief Justice was the actual killer of those professor killings that Kazuma's dad took the fall for. And because Kazuma's dad took the fall for it, then it's kind of poetics to have the killer's son be the prosecutor that finally nails Van Zieks to his cross. But what purpose for that apart from cruelty? Also, this means now that every single name on that one government communication that was leaked in the last trial, in the last game, finally has importance. Wilson, dead. Shin, I think, was the true name of Brett, who killed Wilson, now also dead. Gregson was on the list, dead. Asogi could mean Kazuma's dad, or it could mean Kazuma himself, who now is also deeply involved. Nah, see, Van Zeeks, I think you did see the true nature. It was the Chief Justice himself who said stuff like, "Oh, well, actually, it turned out the professor had his fans doing good things in society, killing off the dregs." Or was it? Or was it the prison governor who said that? Implying that the aristocrats who were killed were bad people, which would match my theory that it's the Chief Justice himself doing extrajudicial killings. "10 years ago, people apprehensive about all the killings, so pin it on a foreign Japanese student as the professor, and that takes the pressure off. People think, well, the killer's gone now. And then people notice that all of Van Zeek's non-guilties end up murdered. So now New Reaper, that's more pressure. So murder off Van Zeek's as your second patsy. And then people think, oh, well, there you go, the Reaper's dead, we're all safe now. Making it safer to conduct more of his extrajudicial killings. Lord Male Strongheart. You see, that whole kangaroo court business was from him. Secret trial, nobody knows who the accused was. It was a sham. That court case was a sham. And there had to be sympathetic people. Like, what's his name? Like Daily Vigil. Who probably realized that that whole court case was a sham and arranged things for Genshin to walk freely and escape. If that's the case, then Daily Vigil probably is not working with the Reaper and probably was investigating the Chief Justice all this time. And if Gregson was killed at that office, then maybe he was working with Daily Vigil to investigate the Reaper and Male Strongheart, and they both got too close. Does it mean, Van Zeeks, that after this self-reflection, You're going to realize that hate helps nobody and soften your prejudices. What? Nah, he's a prosecutor now, that's all he's doing. Just doing his job as a prosecutor. Didn't get out in time. He was 1 month away from retirement. We'll see. Even in France, they have the great Sherlock Holmes, the great Herlock Sholmes of stories. And the great Herlock Sholmes of stories say that Gregson is the most clever man in Scotland Yard, the most clever inspector. So of course they had to have him. Truly. If Gregson found evidence, that does almost legitimize it. A full autopsy. See, everything is being funneled into that case from 10 years ago now. It's like that, what's that case from the first game that everything fell back to? Not Francisca. Was it IS-7? Is that the one? DL6. The DL6 case that everything fell back on. This is this generation's DL6. Hinted to all throughout the game. And then for the final case, or the final two cases. Not yours, you sure? Does it match the serial numbers? Do they have serial numbers? Skin prints. Can we get a skin prints? And when, yes, when did it go missing? Just this morning? Was it stolen? Oh my goodness, Van Zeeks. That is extremely sloppy. You are a prosecutor. You are the top cop in the city. And yet, you're being so loose about your firearm. Your issued firearm. Anywho, here's the picture. You, your bro, and Gregson. So, is the implication here going to be that Gregson was like a father or an uncle to you? So it's inconceivable that you would have shot him? I mean, yes, that's obvious that the person on the left is Lord Clink Van Zeeks. It looks just like him. It looks just like the guy in the large portrait in his office. The only named brother we have is Clint. What? Nonsense, how come? How are you unaware of the relationship between you and Gregson? But if there was a rift, that rift is going to be used as motive between them. Okay, so now, let us be your attorney. He's calling us mister, he's struggling to get it out. The answer is yes, Van Zeeks. It's going to be yes. So you can only trust us. I don't know if I could even take that as a compliment. There's veiled compliments. That there's compliments veiled behind racism. Like, oh, you're one of the good ones. Yes, the photograph we just showed him. What other photograph was there? That's the only photograph that we ever showed this guy. Naturally, that's what we came here the first time for. To get your permission to be your attorney. Okay, what if there were competing attorneys and somebody else gets to your client to be first and you have to fight those other defense attorneys to get the right to defend other people? Courtroom battle with other battles? And to be continued, because it's gonna be 3 hours and I really have to pee. To be continued. Alright, I am out of here. Save trial part 1, bathroom break, stretch your legs. And then we'll begin the actual penultimate trial properly. So BRB. Oh no, I got bad news. Bad news is, I've actually got something I have to do in like an hour or so. Just found out about it. So, I'm afraid that means I am going to have to call it here for today. Sorry. But something has come up. Which is alright. It just means if we start back up tomorrow, that we could just jump right in to the last trial. The introductory investigation halves tend to be kind of it anyway. You gotta like meet everybody, do the whole, the whole preamble, song and dance stuff, then get to the murders. So tomorrow we could just jump right in. Just jump right in to the trial of Van Zeeks, Naruhodo on one side, Kazuma on the other, finding connections to tear down the Chief Justice and reopen the case of 10 years ago. Because all that's going to be coming up. It's gotta be. It's all been hinted to the whole 2 games. And they've just started to be more overt. And adding more evidence onto more evidence about 10 years back. So that is gonna be tomorrow. And I'm gonna find somebody else to toss you guys on over to. And then I'm gonna get ready and get stuff done. Okay, who else is playing Great Ace Attorney today? What is that? Well, how about this? We raided an opossum yesterday, a goat prior to that, a chimera some months back, but I haven't raided a monkey. One Chop Animation is also playing Great Ace Attorney. As soon as this 30-second ad finishes. Because I think they're on the first game? Oh, sorry, it turns out there's something I have to do. Something came up, an obligation, and it came up during the break, so it's a perfect time to cut it short. But that just means trial tomorrow. We can jump right into the trial tomorrow. Okay, they're helping Mr. Natsume. That could be the first game or the second. Okay, they don't know Mr. Natsume. They are in the first game. Excellent then. We get to watch a monkey play with Mr. Natsume. So thanks for hanging. Sorry I had to cut this one short. At least tomorrow get the ball rolling with the trial. So take care of yourselves, enjoy your day, see you tomorrow. And have fun.